The Ruger 2245 is not only an excellent training companion with your 1911, but it also fills many roles for hunting, plinking, just having fun. The Ruger Mark Series. It's been made continually by Ruger for 63 years. In fact, it was Bill Ruger's first design. And it has really stood the test of time. It's highly accurate, it's very reliable, just a great shooting pistol. This is the 2245 in the Mark Series. And this has been around since 1992. In fact, this is one of the older versions, but we're going to talk not only about the features of this gun and what make it an excellent trainer if you shoot a lot of 1911s and you really need something to shoot that's much cheaper with 22 long rifle over 45 ACP. But we're also going to talk about the comparisons with the Mark II, and also we're going to talk about the new features that come on the 2245 that are not on this particular pistol. Notwithstanding price, you definitely have a lot more recoil with your 45 ACP, and so you have your 22, which you can really work on your techniques and be able to really shoot a lot of rounds downrange at a fraction of the cost. This has been a big thing. In fact, there's a lot of 1911 conversions out there, and there are also a lot of 1911 dedicated pistols. This just fits the bill with the Ruger tradition of accuracy and reliability with all the same controls of your 1911. Now we're going to go ahead and safety check the gun. Now one of the big things about the 1911 is its grip angle. And if you've ever used one of the regular Mark II, Mark III pistols, the grip angle is different than your 1911. So one of the things that Ruger first did was they fixed that grip angle. Really, in the Mark II series, which I have a Mark II. In fact, I've got it right here. This is a Mark II 5.5 inch bull barrel. And the grip comes in very deep. It's not really super significant, but yet you can see that there is some difference. So if you're shooting a lot of 1911 and you want to get a consistent grip, it really makes it nice to be able to pull out the 2245 and have pretty much the same grip angle. That way you're going to be pointing more natural when you draw the pistol, and your sights are going to align quicker. Now really the 2245 was designed for those who really shoot a lot, especially in competition. And if you're shooting competitively, you're putting a lot of rounds downrange, but you need to have something that will retain your muscle memory. And if you're doing self-defense training with a 1911, this also allows you to have all the same muscle memory and to be able to train very effectively. Now, of course, the old Ruger, the safety is pretty much in the same place. But you have your bolt release here, but your magazine release is down here at the bottom of the grip, the old European style. With a 2245, they put the safety right where the safety is on the 1911. They put the slide stop in exactly the same place right here. And then they put their magazine release right here next to the trigger guard. If you put these two pistols together, the controls are really close and they're really in the same place. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of differences with this design with the ledge, but this does allow you to get your controls just in the right places. The weight on the 2245 is 32 ounces. On your 1911, it's 33 ounces. And on this Mark II with the heavy bull barrel, it is 40 ounces. So it's considerably heavier with this design. But one thing about it is once you have a loaded magazine in your 45 ACP, it's going to make a big difference in weight. And the 22 is not going to make up for it. But still, the pointability, the natural point of aim is going to be really close to the same. But with all the different styles of 1911 and a lot of the smaller framed pistols, really weight is not going to be as much of a factor because you're having a lot of different variations with whatever 45 you're shooting. Now one of the things about the new models is they have a replaceable grip panel. And you can replace your grip panel with this exact same panel that you use on your 1911s. In fact, you can take those off, put whatever grip you want to put on there. The only thing you have to do is you'll have to relieve some area right here near the slide stop. But other than that, you can even put laser grips, all the different type grips that you would be using. So your feel, everything is going to be the same. Now the sights are the traditional target sights that come on the Mark IIs and Mark IIIs. Really nice adjustable sight in the rear, and then a front sight. The new models do have this rounded off. This was actually cut down and polished to give a nice sight picture. On the old models, it does have the hook, and that hook can get caught, but that gives you a contrast in your sight, especially in bright sunlight. But the new models have been drilled and tapped to be able to allow you to put on a Weaver style base, so you can put any kind of optic you want to on there. Now, one of the big differences with the Mark II and the 2245 is the grip angle of the magazine. And they're pretty much the same traditional look up at the top, but at the base is where it changes. And to get the right grip angle, they had to change the base. And as you can see right here, it just fits very snug, so it's a very rounded off feel to it. The gun itself, in the bottom lower part, it's all polymer, and it has a really nice smooth feel to the bottom. Mag release is very consistent and really good. And since we're talking about mags, I would definitely recommend one of these little mag loaders. This is one of the, I believe this was Adco, and I don't know if they even still make these, but it makes it really nice, especially if you're shooting a lot, to be able to change this down, to be able to relieve the tension on your spring so you can drop your shells in. There are other mag loaders out there, but one of the things, this will really get your thumb after a while. Now the bull barrel on the 2245 and on the Mark II and Mark IIIs really makes this barrel very rigid. And what that does is it really keeps the accuracy in line. It keeps the vibrations down in the barrel, and it really keeps it stiff, so there's less barrel movement. The Mark III and the Mark II are extremely accurate, and this is no different. Now the internal cylinder bolt, which is really unique for Ruger, this allows zero movement of the barrel and the frame. It stays together in one piece, and the bolt is the only thing that moves back. So you're also going to have considerable accuracy just because this is very rigid and it's one piece right here. So you have a fixed barrel design, and you have a very unique but very effective bolt system. Of course, you just grab back here to charge your bolt, which makes it really nice. And this is the only part that's exposed other than right here at the ejection port. Of course, having a bull barrel also adds weight to the front of the pistol, so subsequent shots are going to stay level because you have that added weight. The trigger pull is really crisp. It has a little take up, and then it snaps at about 4 pounds. So I didn't realize any creep in this pistol at all, and I know in the regular Mark II, it just has a really crisp, clean trigger break. Now, a couple of points about the new 2245 is that it has a chamber indicator right on this side of the pistol. Also on the new design is they have a magazine disconnect. So if you pull your magazine out of your 2245, the trigger will not be able to be pulled. It'll be just like you have on a safety. Now personally, I'm not a big fan of magazine disconnects. That's fine if you're in law enforcement and you need to release your magazine in case you get into a scuffle. But to be honest with you, the magazine disconnect usually interferes with your trigger pull, making it a little more gritty because there are more contact surfaces and there's more of a mechanism inside the internals. So I really like no magazine disconnect. The Ruger 2245, they run about around the $300 range, give or take. There's a lot of different models. There's even a lightweight model. Now, there are a lot of different models of the 2245, and you can go to Ruger's website and check it out. I'll put the link in the description below. But one of the models they have is a lightweight version, and it has an aluminum upper receiver, and then it has the steel barrel inside. It drops the weight down about 10 ounces. So it's a nice option if you want something really lightweight. One of the things about these two is just because you have a 2245 doesn't mean this can't double as a great hunting pistol or one just to have around for target practice and plinking. It's just a really great pistol, has a great feel to it. So if you're really in the market for one of the Ruger Mark Series pistols, don't discount the 2245 if you don't own a 1911, but you're just looking for something to take out and shoot. The Ruger 2245 is an excellent pistol in any of the Mark Series 22 Rugers. But one thing about having a Ruger 22 is when you have this in your hand, you know this thing is substantial. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic.
Ruger 2245. It's an excellent training pistol, but it also can fill a lot of different roles, whether it's hunting, you're going hiking, camping. Great little pistol. See, like when you ride, yeah, right. It's my mother-in-law's. Rides in style, baby.